Okay, so this here says, what mental illness is often associated with domestic violence? It says, domestic violence is associated with depression, anxiety, PTSD, and substance abuse in the general population. Exposure to domestic violence has a significant impact on children's mental health. However, what I can tell you is this is not going to get any better with homelessness, because the homeless population is not forgiving of anything at all. So what you end up with is a bunch of people in the same situation, and it just gets worse. I mean, I agree with what they put on here on the internet. And sometimes people can just read something and they self-diagnose themselves. But of course, when you don't have medical, it makes it next to impossible to have someone else's diagnosis. But the thing is, at the same time, do you want to have that diagnosis on your medical and then have that affect you getting a job? Now, I know that the soldiers at one time, they were in fear of losing their job in being diagnosed with some type of clinical depression and mental illness. This says battered women's syndrome typically follows a predictable cycle known as the cycle of violence, which consists of 3 distinct phases. Tension building phase. During this phase, the abuser becomes increasingly tense, aggressive, and irritable. Acute battering incident, and then the honeymoon phase. Oh, I have a video. I have about an hour-long video actually showing this, what happens. I have an hour-long video that shows everything that's happening right here. And it's from 2021, early in March of 2021. It shows exactly everything that they just described here. It shows the tension building up, and then where he hits me, and then the honeymoon phase. Now, the honeymoon phase was where he was talking about going and buying a new car, which he did. After he hit me and kicked me out of the house, he went and bought himself a new car. And I had always questioned, it's like, well, was that new car supposed to be some type of thing for an apology? Even though he's going to put it in his own name because he wants to keep everything in his own name. We were legally married for over 14 years, but he wanted to keep everything in his name and separate as though we were not married because he didn't want me to have anything. So after he kicked me out of the house, he cut me off of all money. And even on the internet now, there's people who say things like, well, are you really homeless or are you street homeless? So they want to be jerks.